Is that going to be a game changer?
I think it could be for Apple. Apple at the moment is at this point where even though iPhone sales have hit record numbers in the past quarter, smartphone penetration in many Western markets is really plateauing. It's already hitting over 90% in some markets. So there may not be huge growth in that market, particularly at the very high end where Apple works at. So it really is looking for that next market, that next niche to attack to really grow its business further. And it believes it's found that with smartwatches.
You know, Daniel, is it possible for the Apple Watch to be that niche? And as you say, a niche for Apple can be very, very small. Even if Apple Watches sell as well as some analysts expect, that would only amount to 3% of Apple's total revenue. And that would be sales of $6.1 billion. So how is it really going to move the needle?
I think the key things for Apple is A, not just revenue, but B is, of course, the most important thing is profitability on the watches itself. It has only ever entered very high profitability margin markets, and so if it can keep that margin up while a lot of its competitors are rolling out Android smartwatches, that would be very important. But more importantly is it really begins to build and tie people into a strong Apple ecosystem, particularly with the likely expansion of Apple Pay to Europe, which could be announced this evening as well, that you'll get people that are very firmly tied into Apple with not just with the watch, but they'll have their phone, their iPhone, and possibly even their laptop as well. I think that's been the big theme for a lot of Apple's recent announcement, has been trying to tie in this ecosystem much tighter together and to increase the loyalty of their customers.
And Daniel, a wider question, how is Apple evolving as a company? Wilfred and I were talking about why is it called the Apple Watch instead of the iWatch? And I was saying maybe because they want this to be more sophisticated, not only a tech-driven product. And on that note, too, there's been some speculation about how they're actually going to market the watch. They had that 12-page spread in Vogue. Also, there's some talk that they may revamp the stores with carpet, better lighting, etc. Do you think that we're seeing a sort of changing Apple here?
Yes, I think Apple is, I don't want to say ditching the from the iPhone and the iMac, but I think it definitely wants to move away from it being seen as a technology company, and that really is what the I kind of implies in many of these cases. So Apple really wants to be seeing itself as a fashion company. I think that's what a lot of people are pushing itself, but also moving away from simply the I gives Apple a much wider range in terms of the amount of devices it can attract or the amount of markets it can attack, because it means the naming scheme is freed up and it can do a lot more things within that. So I think you've already seen Apple rumours that Apple's going to be looking at automotive, obviously because everybody jokingly says, "Oh, iCar." Well, see, Apple want to have a wider branding availability on that, and they really want to really hammer home Apple as the quality brand, as a quality name across a wide variety of things. So I think Apple is in transition within its brand, moving more towards just being a fashion, high-end brand rather than just being a technology company.